In this video, Ryan Hassan from our prop desk in New York City reveals his journey to becoming a consistently profitable trader. Hi, I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder of S&B Capital, and we're a proprietary trading firm located in Midtown Manhattan. And I'm also the author of the trading classic, One Good Trade, and the playbook. Ryan was profitable every month this year. Let's get to work on sharing Ryan's insights from his experience on our prop desk in New York City of what it really takes to become a consistently profitable trader.
So last year I traded from Cape Town, South Africa, and the time difference between Cape Town and New York is 7 hours. So the internet performance in South Africa definitely has its ups and downs. It has its moments, but overall it's good enough and consistent enough to allow me to trade consistently on a daily basis. So last year I was profitable every month of the year. I was able to trade consistently, and I think there are two reasons. The first reason is because I have the right determination and passion, and I think with that already sets you up well to be able to trade successfully from anywhere in the world if you have the right mindset, determination, and passion. The second thing is because I have the right foundation, habits, training, resources, and I'm able to collaborate and communicate with world-class traders on a daily basis, and that all is from the firm. And so I put those two together, and even with trading from the other side of the world, with some challenges and time difference and internet, I'm still able to trade successfully and consistently. And I believe if you have those things, you can trade from anywhere in the world, and you can make it work, let alone be very successful. Yeah, so 9 months in, I thought about quitting. And, to be honest, had I been alone, I believe the outcome would have been very different. I think I very likely would have given up. But I wasn't alone, and I was at the firm, and I had the support from the partners. I had the support from my coach, my mentor, the risk manager, the trading psychologist. I had the support from some incredible people and some fantastic resources, and all of that, together and compounded really helped eliminate the self-doubts and really helped reinstill the drive and the belief and the hunger and determination to succeed. And so, I very quickly I pushed through that learning curve, discovered my edge, and found success as a trader. And really it's with thanks and for thanks to all of the people and the support I received at the firm to help me push through and discover my edge and success as a trader.
If you want to learn 3 more real-world setups that our traders use, including the simple setup that we teach all of our new traders, and the setup that turned one of our traders into a 7-figure big money earner, check out the free webinar that we're currently running. Just go ahead and click the link that should be appearing now at the top right-hand corner of your screen. That will open up the free registration page in a new window, so don't worry, you won't lose this video. You can also visit tradingworkshop.com to register for this free intensive workshop. You're going to learn more in a couple of hours from this trading workshop than from years of online education.
So trading at a proprietary trading firm, for me, it has so many advantages. And to name a few, I'd say the first one would, of course, be capital. If you're trading at a proprietary firm and trading at the firm, you really aren't short of capital at all. And so not only does that allow you to express your trades a lot bigger and with more freedom, but it also enables me to be able to do other things with my capital, all right? So it's not tied up in a trading account. Instead, I can use my capital to invest in property, for example, or make small investments in small companies, for example, and diversify. And so that's a huge plus. The second thing I would say is team trading. So being able to be on a team, being able to surround yourself with traders that are perhaps at the same level as you, so you're pushing each other and helping each other grow, holding each other accountable is big. Being able to trade on a team where your mentor is really the pinnacle of success as a trader is quite something. And so that's huge to be able to see what's possible. That's really big. I remember when I first started at the firm, one of my first days on the desk, my mentor at the time had his biggest trade, and one of his biggest trades. And on the day, he put his arms up after the close, and he put them up in excitement because he made the most that day than anyone at the firm did that day. He made probably around 50,000. This is about five and a half years ago. And he was super excited. And I remember thinking, wow, that's incredible. That's a lot of money. And just, I can't wait until I experience these days. Well, 5.5 years later, and I'm now experiencing those days. My mentor has now grown and he is experiencing the same excitement. However, it's not 50,000, it's $2 million, $3 million days. And so being able to be on a team with traders and a trader, my mentor, that's experiencing that is incredible, because I know that the path that I'm following at the firm leads me down that same path of success. And it's possible. If he's doing it, I can do it. We're armed with the same information, knowledge, and resources at the firm, and it's possible. And so knowing that something like that's possible is huge. The partners and the support structure at the firm is huge, right? So the partners, the risk manager, and the trading psychologist, they've all been so key to my success and continue to do so. Being able to confide and having the support of the partners is big. The risk manager, being able to be held accountable, having someone to really look at your results and allow you to trade bigger and trade with more size and risk, and also keep you in check on days when perhaps you need to be kept in check, is big. And then the trading psychologist to help you through those tough times, those slumps, push through and continue to grow as a trader. These are just invaluable resources. And then I would say lastly, a huge plus from being at the firm was the training that I received. Without the training and being able to build the right foundation and habits, I wouldn't be the trader that I am. I wouldn't have been able to not only develop that foundation and the right foundation and habits, which is so important, but I wouldn't have found my edge. I wouldn't have discovered my edge and who I am as a trader. And so that was key to everything. And so those for me are the main advantages of being at the firm. When I joined the firm, I didn't know anything, and I was fine with that. I wanted to come in and absorb everything like a sponge. And so when I joined the firm, I looked around the desk and I saw what the experienced traders were trading. I saw the different strategies they were trading, and I decided that I'm going to experiment with very, very small size in all of these strategies. This was my experimental phase. And then I'm going to see what I gravitate towards, what feels right to me. And so during this phase, I found that trading low floats, typically on the short side, that's something that showed promise. And so, low floats, these are stocks. Typically, I characterize a low float as a stock with 10 million shares or less float. So that means that 10 million shares that are available to the public to trade. Okay. So companies like, your large caps, your S&P 500 companies, they all have float sizes from, they could be 500 million shares that are available to the public to trade up to 2, 3, 4 billion. Whereas low floats have 10 million or less, which means that they're very volatile and they can move 100 to 300% over a matter of a day or two or three. And so I like that volatility. I like the liquidity they had when they were in play. And so I gravitated towards that, typically on the short side. So in order to really arm myself with the right tools to be successful trading these, I needed to understand the technicals, the fundamentals, and the price action, and how and why they move. So that's where I really started my career into becoming a consistently profitable trader with this one stream and strategy. And from there, I wanted to use those skills, leverage those skills to continue to add different streams of income, so different strategies as a trader. So the first thing I did was I needed to understand the fundamentals, right? These stocks that I typically trade on the short side, when they go up, they are fundamentally flawed. I needed to understand the SEC filings, what different forms of dilution exists, and how might that affect the way the stock trades. I needed to understand the technicals, the float size, all right, and how that affects the way the stock trades. I needed to understand how many shares are easily available to short the stock. And with that is the short interest. How many shares are currently short the stock and how might that affect the way it trades? I also needed to understand the price action, how to read the tape, how to pick up on little nuances on the tape. I needed to dive into multiple time frames. So not only watching the stock trade on a 1 minute, but looking back on the daily, all right? Looking back at how it's traded in the past, looking back at the hourly chart, the 30 minutes, and really combining all time frames to build a picture and a story around the stock that I was trading. And so I spent a lot of time putting together the right foundation for trading this one strategy. And eventually I achieved consistency. Now, once I achieved consistency trading one strategy, shorting fundamentally flawed low floats, and I had 5 setups within that, I then said, all right, step 2 now is how can I add another strategy? How can I diversify as a trader? And I said, all right, well, I currently have these skills. So how can I leverage those skills and continue to grow? So naturally for me, the next step was then, well, I'm trading them intraday, but I am leaving a bit of meat on the bone. So why don't I look to swing them over a period of 2 or 3 days? And so that was the next step, was trading them intraday, being in from good prices and holding a small call. So holding a third of my position overnight to see if I could catch more of the downside. Then the next skill was, well, I'm able to really judge how and when the stock might make serious moves, changing really in character and a change in momentum on the short side. But I also understand the long side of these stocks, right? So I started trading them on the long side and understanding when and how the stock might squeeze. That was step 3. And then step 4 really put me into various different strategies. That was taking all of these skills and applying them to shorting overextended medium and large caps, getting long overextended to the downside, small, medium, and large caps, trading IPOs, and really, it was like a web, which was just casted in all directions. But it all started with one strategy, having the right training habits and foundation, cementing one strategy, knowing it very well so that I didn't feel like I was at a disadvantage to anyone else, and then slowly progressing into different strategies from there in a very sustainable way. So my most effective trading strategy is trading low floats and typically trading low floats on the short side. Now, I think that there are 2 edges that exist with trading low floats and really trading with edge with my strategy. There's a trading edge and then there's a structural edge. Now, the trading edge is because I'm trading these stocks that have such a small float and are able to move such large percentages in a small period of time. So that creates amazing volatility, amazing price action, and this fantastic liquidity. So that makes for a really good trading vehicle, if you will, for a professional trader. For a trader like me, who knows the fundamentals, the technicals, and I have the screen time. And so I know what the outcome of this trade will be. I'm also able to identify great risk-reward opportunities and setups in that stock and on the day that it's trading. And so that is a huge edge. The next one, the structural edge, is because, like I said, these stocks can go up 300-400%. But when they turn and when that top is put in, they'll fall 70-80% within a day. All right. And so where the structural edge exists is because I'm competing against traders that aren't armed with the knowledge that I have. They don't have the same training, foundation, habits, processes, and knowledge that I do. And so when those stocks turn, I'm able to identify that change. I'm able to identify really the structural change within that trade. And I'm able to get in on the downside, and I'm able to capture that 50, 60, 70% downside. But not only that, on the front side, I'm also able to ride that wave of retail buying, which causes these stocks to go up. And I'm able to take advantage of that momentum. The big difference and where that edge comes in is that I also know that these stocks are fundamentally flawed. There's dilution coming. The stock has gone up too quickly. It's not sustainable. And whoever holds large positions are going to be taking profit. These people too are armed with great knowledge. But the retail traders that are buying it up aren't. And so when that stock has that change in character, when it puts in a top or a lower high or breaks below the volume weighted average price, we're able to get in and capture that downside. And that's a huge edge, being able to take advantage of the front side and the downside. So the goal for this year is definitely to be a 7-figure trader. Last year, I proved to myself that I was able to achieve the goals that I'd set out, especially trading from halfway across the world with some challenges in internet and time difference. And so I definitely know that I can go from strength to strength and continue to grow and become a 7-figure trader this year. And I know that achieving it from halfway across the world with the challenges I face in infrastructure and time difference will be something I really enjoy achieving. So how I'm planning on doing that is sizing up. I'm not looking to change any strategies, but I am looking to size up in my A+ setups. So in doing so, I won't leave as much meat on the bone as I did last year. So I've identified the setups where I am able to get bigger, where the liquidity exists to support me getting bigger. And that is how I will become a 7-figure trader this year.
Hey, go ahead and click our subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos they were producing for you in the trading community. And please take the time to add your feedback in the comments section for what videos you'd like for us to produce next and what you found helpful from this video. From all of us at S&B, train and trade well.